Good day, good people. Once again, you got the grumpy old nerds in your ear. As always, I'm Uncle John, your elder who knows too damn much about movies and TV and stuff of that like. And as always, I have my friends with me whose opinions may or may not matter, depending on if they agree with me. Over here is Auntie Nicole. Hi, Auntie Nicole.
Hola, everybody. Oh, sorry. Konnichiwa.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think neither one of them is acceptable.
This time.
Oh, but that's fine. Underneath her in the brand new booty chair is Uncle Percy. Hi, Uncle Percy.
Hello, everybody.
And over here is Uncle Tony. Hi, Uncle Tony.
How you guys doing today?
And below Uncle Tony is some masked stranger. I'm not quite sure who that is, but I believe that's Uncle Rod. What's going on, sir?
What's good, y'all? This is my MegaCon special. This is what I was telling you about. The master was calling my name. I was gonna walk by it.
Ah, yeah. The MegaCon special. Ooh, how foreboding. All right. So as we all gaze upon Uncle Rod's unique visage, I wanted to talk. Now, we weren't on last week, and I'm not sure if Uncle Percy still has that fire in his belly about this particular subject. I imagine that he will. But it was announced that Star Trek Starfleet Academy is going to be canceled. And before I forget, super producer Roy up top, and I'm sure he has something to say about this too. Star Trek Starfleet Academy was canceled. They will have one more season, season 2, and then that's it. That's all. And Uncle Percy, I have been waiting with bated breath to hear your opinions on the cancellation of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Please, the floor is yours.
First, I would like to say the views from Uncle Percy is not part of the grumpy old nerds, because Paramount is full of shit. Just leave it like that. These racist, homophobic. Thank you. What's the I'm going old school. Hunkies don't understand. Don't understand this show.
Okay, JJ.
And just before, and just like we talked about 3 weeks ago, with the vice president and some other folks from a certain administration was talking shit about the show. I think they put pressure on the show after somebody probably leaked the second season to them or something. Probably a little bit more of what the first season was, and like, oh no, we can't do this, and probably put pressure on Paramount. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think the show is great. I think the show is different. At least, well, like they said with Star Trek. Star Trek was canceled the first season, then people started complaining, and the next thing you know, it came back. There's a petition out. It has over 30,000 signatures. Last time I checked. To bring the show back, and it's two petitions. One is coming out of the UK that has 30,000 signatures, and there's one coming from the US that has like 20,000. So people really wants the show to come back, and I'm not even asking for like 7-8 years. Just do 4 years. Just do the 4 years. Let the kids graduate. Let's see what happens after that, and see if they can expand Star Trek for another 20 years. That's all I'm asking for. Let's just see what they can do with this. They're not giving the show a chance. And I'm being calm now because I have my drugs, so I'm not going to.
I was going to say, that was a really, really well thought out and not as profanity laced as I thought it would be. So,
yeah.
No, thank you for that, Uncle
Very
Percy.
tame.
We still got time now. We still got time. Don't worry about it.
This is letting you know.
Right,
Plenty
right.
of time left. Show
Oh,
ain't over yet.
Uncle Tony, I'm sure you have thoughts on this as well.
Well, like I said, I'm actually sad that the show got canceled. I was actually looking forward to them doing the 4 years that they originally planned, which would have been shorter than most of the Star Trek series. I think part of the problem is and stuff, there was a lot of social media complaints about it. Basically, the people who unfortunately who are running the country right now, definitely couldn't have been fans of the show. Just hearing the words that are coming out of their mouth, you knew that there was no way that they were going to be fans of this show. And unfortunately, if I'm correct, I probably need to go back and recheck my research, but the people who actually bought Paramount are groups of people that are now running the country. All right. So the people who bought Paramount are quote unquote anti-woke. And so you definitely can't have a show like Star Trek airing if you're anti-woke, and that's going to be like the flagship, besides some comedies and some crime dramas on your network.
Okay. Uncle Roy, your thoughts?
Yeah, so y'all can hear me, right? Okay, my
Yes.
voice. There we go.
We can
I
see you
think that,
too.
yeah, I think it's gonna come back. I don't think it's gonna stay gone. It's gonna be too much because the show was getting what it needed. I think everybody wanted, like what Tony and Percy said, they give them 4 years. You let that class graduate, because it was honestly, when you think about it, it's the first show ever in the Star Trek mythos where they dive deeply into Star Trek Academy, in Starfleet Academy. And nobody, they hadn't done that. Like, they brought up stuff like, I mean, you got to be a super Star Trek person to have ever heard of the War College and all this kind of stuff. So they brought up things that people want to see. Again, it is what it is. I think it'll be back though. I don't think they're going to at least get 2 more seasons out of it. I just think it's going to take them a minute to kind of push through the manures and the nonsense of the people complaining. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised that if it doesn't come back on Paramount, that somebody else doesn't buy it. Who just did that?
I don't know. I don't.
Now, did you say minutia or manure?
No, he said manure.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
You know what I find interesting?
No. But see, that's the funny part about all of this is that for something to be around for 60 years and Paramount knows what this series is, what Star Trek is all about, for them to do some bullshit like this is just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. How they doing it?
Like you said, I mean, Star Trek has been what Star Trek is since the very beginning. Who is putting me in the middle? I don't want to be in there.
You the one in the controls room, Captain.
What are you talking
about? We ain't doing
bro?
shit.
Anybody else in there, because I wasn't touching nothing. That's why I'm wondering. But I
You
mean,
doing
they
that on your
always
own,
know what
homeboy.
they always know what the show is. The show has been the same thing since the very beginning. I mean, it was, it did stuff, and it's funny hearing William Shatner talk about something. Oh, it was never political. Dude, you kissed a black woman on TV in the 60s. Stop lying. It's always been political.
Okay.
So,
Uncle Rod, you got any comments on this?
While I didn't agree with with every part of the show, I thought the show was really important, and it was Star Trek for a new generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It introduced younger people to it because it featured younger people. I think they should let it continue, but I do not think it's going to be on Paramount.
Okay.
It's going to end up going someplace else and being continued.
Okay. Auntie Nicole, you got any thoughts?
I'm just actually very surprised that it was like there's any kind of meddling in this. This isn't a broadcast show. It's not like it's on like NBC, CBS type of thing. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's on a channel that you have to actually pay for, stream, what have you. So I'm actually very surprised that anybody would have that much, I guess, pull with the cataloging of what Paramount does. And I mean, I watched it. I thought it was cute and nice. I wasn't that great of a fan of it, but I think the kids today, like the younger generation, they would enjoy that because that's where we are. That's the sign of the times. And I just think for anybody to put their hands in that is really kind of stupid. It's like that is how you make your money, by what is going on relevant at this time.
And I know for me and stuff, when we're talking about money, I was only doing CBS All Access, later on Paramount Plus, to watch Star Trek. That is the only reason I was paying for those descriptions. I was basically like, is it worth me to basically pay $2 an episode for me to watch Star Trek? And for me, that answer was yes. Okay, there is nothing else. Well, except for the last season of The Neighborhood, I'll go back and watch. But yeah, there is nothing else on Paramount Plus that I have any desire to watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing else on there, bro.
They got tons of scary movies. I love it.
I would wonder, and I don't know if any of you know this, what the ratings were for this, and what the ratings were for this, as opposed to Brave New Worlds or any of the other Star Trek series that are on that network, because I thought that Star Trek was a strong enough brand that even if something didn't have the best ratings, that they would go ahead and push at least like Percy said, you've got these kids who are, they come in as freshmen. That's a solid 4 years of storytelling. I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised, because this administration is ass. But I wonder what the ratings are, because like Tony said, that's money. There are people who, Tony ain't the only one. There are people who subscribe to Paramount strictly for Star Trek. And if Star Trek is going to get canceled like that, for a series like that for political and asshole reasons, then I imagine a bunch of people will just pull back and say, you know what, I'm not spending my money with that. And I got some data for you, John. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. 66 out of 100 critic score, Metascore.
Okay.
Metacritic. So the critics, 66 out of 100. The Rotten Tomatoes critic score was 88%.
Oh,
okay.
I was trying to
audience
that
ratings were lower.
Send me that info. If you can send me that link, I can put that link up on the screen, because I was trying to find it. Yeah, I was Googling it myself. That's what the signals do.
What were you saying about the audience? Right.
Audience ratings were lower. Metacritic, the user score was 1.7 out of 10.
Damn.
But you know what? But see, here's the thing, and this is something that I tell people all the time, though, that you have to remember when you're talking about statistics and these types of things. I literally, I for 10 years, I had my own research and development firm. Based on how strong the client comes in on something, I can take any question that you ask and give you the answers that you want to. And it will be a legitimate research. Like if I say we're going to go ask 100 people a question, or if you need us to ask, 1,000 people, you know where to go to get those numbers. I'm willing to bet you that these people went to folks who were like, they didn't go to Tony, they didn't go to Percy's, they didn't go to me, they didn't go to people who were Star Trek fans.
It debuted at number 3 in streaming.
Dang.
And then dropped out of the top 10.
No shit. So the first episode was gangbusters, and then after that, it just fell off.
It would have been gangbusters just because it was.
Hold on. The show was taken over by reruns of King of Queens and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh my god!
See, that's what I'm telling you. They ain't about witch. They didn't go to no real. They didn't go to no real fans. Right?
Now you about to make me curse. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck they go to? They must have went to the whitest white people in the goddamn world to ask those stupid ass questions.
It's not even the whitest. They went to people who were non-Star Trek and non-sci-fi fans. People like they went to people who weren't going to be watching the show anyway.
I bet if we would have went
asked them that question.
I bet if we would have went to like C3. They just had their thing in Chicago. I wish I could walk.
C2E2?
Yeah, if we went to there and asked them about that show, probably everybody in that goddamn place would have been like, "Yeah, Star Trek Academy. Yeah, that's the shit."
You know what? I maybe I don't want to say I disagree, but I think that you're underestimating the power of ignorance and the fact that they had a Klingon in a skirt, and the fact that the character that was played by I forget her name, the black British comedian.
The one, the Jim Hadar Klingon hybrid.
Yes, the Jim Hadar Klingon, because I had seen some stuff online that people were like, Jim Hadar and a Klingon wouldn't mate. I'm like, God damn, y'all that deep into it that you trying to say that two made up alien species wouldn't mate? There was a lot of gatekeeping by old school Star Trek fans who did not like this quote unquote.
They're bringing their own personal biases into it too.
Yes,
that's what they're doing. Because if you really understood the history of those two from Deep Space Nine, from those two places, and then you look at what's happened in the storyline to the point where they are now, you absolutely would have had Jim Hadar and Klingons getting together because they were the two strongest in the Alpha Quadrant. Though they were literally the strongest characters or species in there. And if everything is breaking down, why would they not join together so that they could run over everybody? Like, now as a fan, I did not like what I called the castration of the Klingons. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about the guy being gay. I'm talking about the passiveness of it. And I get that they were using the fallback storyline to those medical people who were in the Klingon story and had been there forever. And they were kind of working on that. But you could have had a couple of more. Klingons. Klingons should have been a little bit more prevalent. Because I think even one night, I don't know if it was Percy or Tony who said something about it, but one of the nights we were talking about it. And the fact that the Klingons were almost extinct out of all the races, you're like, hold up, bro. That really? It doesn't even make sense.
Okay, and this is from and I say this all the time. I'm a peripheral Star Trek fan. Why does it not make sense that the Klingons would become extinct after a galaxy-wide disaster?
Well, again, because they were already physically the most aggressive and violent. If anything, they would have taken over whatever quadrant they were in and would have been running it.
But I think
after the burn.
But see, and that's the whole thing. I was hoping that, they probably, I don't know what's in the second season, that they talk about the burn. I think that's the part everybody's missing. They bring it up, but they really don't explain what really happened and who and what, where, and why about the burn. If they actually talk about that, go through that, then I think it'd be a better understanding of how everybody got mixed and people just trying to survive 100 years. And
that would have been a great talking point or a plot point going forward. I agree. I just think that in a situation where you have this group that is considered one of the strongest races in a particular universe, whatever happened to them, that would be what's up, Alton? Would be some powerful storytelling to see how they got to the brink of extinction. So it's just like Rod said, people bringing their personal biases to it, and I think I'm gonna be honest. I think that because there was such an outcry from gatekeeping Star Trek fans, that's part of the reason why Paramount felt that they could go ahead and say, you know what, we are going to go ahead. We've already shot season 2. We're going to cancel after season 2. Now, I do have a question though. How would it be possible? Because Paramount owns Star Trek. Am I correct?
Right.
Yep.
How can it be shipped to someplace else if Paramount doesn't want it to be shot?
Well, they don't want it to be. If they don't want to release the rights, then they won't.
It's just somebody offer them a check and be like, okay, well, you take the chance on it. They don't want to spend $100 million to produce it. But if Netflix come up and be like, yo, I want to be able to do this, here's the money, they'll let them do it.
It's just Lucas. It's just like Doctor Who. Disney had Doctor Who, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this shit ain't gonna work out. Here, we give it back to the BBC. Something like that.
That's a solid point because and Disney fumbled that shit horribly. But I'm sorry, that's a whole.
Uncle Tony had his hand up.
Reality. Come on, Tony.
Well, all right, I gotta put this. I am not old enough to have watched the original series when it came out. But I could pretty much be considered one of those old farts that would be a gatekeeper as far as Star Trek's concerned. I have seen everything that came out from the animated series all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any argument that anyone would have about this not being Star Trek is made up stuff. Okay. I'm part of like 2 Star Trek groups on social media that have like get-togethers and meetups to talk about this new show. This show has fans from the old guard.
Yeah.
All right. Second point. All right. The Klingons and the Jem'Hadar are 2 of the more warlike factions in the Star Trek universe.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not the strongest. They're not physically strong. Klingons and Jem'Hadar are no more stronger than humans. You know, the rage that stops everybody else.
Shit.
Let's
Here we go.
Are stronger than everybody else.
No, dude, you're talking about the human. Hold on, Tony. Hold on, Tony. Let's back up. Let's go back to, and now you're gonna make me go and find the episode. But the episode of Deep Space Nine, where Jem'Hadar had all those different races of people in their prison, in the right on the other side, I guess the Gamma Card, whatever it was, and they had them fighting, and Worf was out there kicking ass and the only one to stay alive and fighting day to day. And they were like, we need to figure out who these Klingons are, because this one Klingon is out here kicking our asses and we beating him down.
Right, that's called the fighting skill. It has nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, if you watch enough Star Trek Next Generation episodes, they always let Worf get smacked across the bridge to show you how powerful somebody else is. But there are many Star Trek episodes going back to the classic series where, like Trouble with Tribbles, one of my favorite, where Klingons and humans have gotten to fighting and they're fighting toe to toe. The Klingons had no advantage whatsoever.
No,
so Worf is the barometer.
They changed that. That was in the original series. That's what it was. In Star Trek, the original series, there wasn't really any physical difference between humans and Klingons. But as they got, if you go back and look at all the other stuff, once they got to, okay, you know what? I'll give you this. Maybe they started
doing one of those arguments of like, when did the political party switch? All right, when did the Klingons become more physically intimidating and powerful?
And that's all I was going to say. After the Next Generation, you're probably right. After the Next Generation, going into Deep Space Nine is when they did it. Because the other thing, like if you remember looking at the what was it? The Chris Pine ones and Zachary Kids are the ones that they just the new series that they just did.
Kelvin Universe.
Kelvin timeline.
Yeah. When they came through and like even when they were there, Khan was the only one who could take out. They were trying to fight the Klingons and the humans were getting their behind rope. He picked the old girl up like she was a rag doll. That was physically stronger than the humans were. And it took Khan, who was already superhuman, to be able to defeat them. And they were just like, he just took out a whole squad of Klingons. If Klingons weren't physically stronger, they would have been like, well, that ain't no big deal. That's just like he'd beat the whole squad of us. Hell.
Okay, I hate now I'm going to be a gatekeeper. Kelvin Universe is not Prime Star Trek. Leave your Kelvin Universe stuff where it is. Kelvin Universe.
Okay, now Cole's weighing in.
Yeah,
Cole's weighing in. At first, Worf said that he and the Betazoid couldn't be together because he was too strong to be with any other race of women.
All right, so what black man don't brag?
Vampires and humans.
Okay, Tony. Now, Tony, I don't know about that. Okay, Tony. All right,
and that's why it's been canceled. That shit right there. That's why.
Yeah.
Probably got to.
So yeah, so I think
apparently he worked it out.
Oh
no, because he ended up with a trill.
And since when did the trill strong?
Well, that was the thing. Remember, the trill had been a Klingon. So she knew and was dealing, she could deal with the physical, physical aspect of the relationship.
Hey,
Oh
man.
my God.
Look. I told you, I know about Star Trek now. We
This
gonna
about
get
to get
into
into some pH territory. We don't need that right now.
Right. I'm not even talking about the Star Trek stuff. I'm talking about what y'all discussing in the Star Trek stuff. Okay, so anyway, I think that we can all agree that this is bullshit. And Star Trek, as someone again who is not a real true Star Trek fan, I enjoyed it. I tuned in each week and it kept my attention. So I think it's bullshit. And if they are able to sell it off to somebody else or loan it off to somebody else or however that they do it, I would hope that it happens because
it's going to Tubi.
Black exploitation.
You know what? Tubi gets clowned, but they've got some pretty nice shows on Tubi. So well, if nothing else, they keep you laughing. And this kind of leads into my next subject. There was going to be, talk about a segue. There was going to be, and I hate the word reboot, but there was going to be an extension of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was the star of Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the late 90s, early 2000s, had come on board, and she was, one of the executive producers, and they had even shot the pilot, and they got it all together. And then somebody in the Hulu network where it was going to be shown shot it down. I don't want to say in a Starfleet Academy kind of way, but I think that they were scared. I think that because Buffy was progressive at the time in showing of taking a fantasy or something that was not extraterrestrial, but something that was supernatural. Thank you. And bringing it down, using it as a metaphor for stuff that was happening in real life. I think they were really kind of scared and looked at it as if, Buffy would bring to light some stuff that they didn't want shown, and they canceled it. Just like one executive said, I don't want this to be shown anymore. And I think that was stupid. And so I guess my question to all of you is, were you looking forward to a retelling per se of the Buffy story? And do you think it would have been relevant? And how shitty was it that they decided that they didn't want to go through with it?
I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with the characters that are still with us, and see how they would have progressed them in the story.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Nicholas Brandon, by the way. Yeah, it's a story that would have been relevant for today. And I think the whole empowerment, even though Joss Whedon is a creep and he had nothing to do with this, when he started Buffy the Vampire Slayer, his empowerment of women was something that was necessary. And I think that's even more so now. And the fact that they decided, you know what, fuck it, we're just not going to do it anymore. And you had the star of the show who was a willing participant, and there were people who were trying to become a part of this. And I just think that's unfair.
John,
what? Yes.
You even said it. I think, it's amazing to me how much these media giants, these mega media corporations are afraid of President Trump and his administration. I mean, just the way to say it. Because
that's literally what's happening. You're right.
Yeah, because these people, I mean, you talk about these shows that we're looking at, these were shows that from their inception always pushed the envelope as it related to the issues of the day. They just wrote them into the fantasy stories. And so, they don't want that being seen. You can't, let's
they don't
be
want
honest.
To give people ideas.
Yeah, we're living in a period where you can't criticize the government, even though
voice
it's your
is
First
shut
Amendment
up
right.
on today. Yeah.
You can't do that when you do anything that makes them look bad or anything that makes them feel uncomfortable. As my boy used to say, a hit dog a holler. They don't want to holler because everybody out here throwing shots at them on TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing, because when you see some of these, again, he got your boy Zuckerberg to outlaw fact checking on Facebook.
That's fucking crazy.
Right. It's just like, I'm like, and I told people when that happened, I said, do you all not understand how they have now just changed news reporting
Yep.
in this country.
Mhm.
Now, any crackpot
Make
can say
believe now.
anything,
You can,
Anything.
and
create.
they
You can
get
accuse
credibility.
anybody of anything, and nobody can shut you down saying it's not true.
Present company not excluded.
Well, that one of the things of too is like they're threatening people with the power of the FCC
Yeah.
and taking people and saying that they're gonna. Well, if you don't do what we say, we're gonna take your license.
Which is hilarious because that's why the internet is supposed to be here, because nobody on the internet has an FCC license. Hell, I remember when I first started in radio in 1992, I had to get an FCC
Damn.
license to be on the radio, to be an on-air personality. All you got to do now is plug your damn computer up and put a microphone in front of your face.
That's very true. That's
Yeah, but
very
a lot of those
As you can see.
services will copyright strike you and find all kind of ways to shut you down in that respect, though. In some cases, it's almost as if you should have you need to have a license, or you will want to have one.
Isn't
Right.
that kind of why Jimmy Kimmel is like walking away because of not being able to express his views or whatever like that? Isn't he supposed to be?
No, I think he just got a new contract.
They said, well, I thought it was they was trying to say that it was like activists or something like that that was on the conservative side that was causing a problem with some of the things that he was saying on the show, because remember he had got suspended.
right.
And
Well, but they wouldn't. They lost that. They lost in court on that stuff. That's what it is.
no,
See,
okay,
that's the part that
okay.
people aren't hearing. People aren't
Mhm.
hearing when they do all this illegal stuff. All they hear is when they do it. Because again, I keep telling people, Trump promises people he was going to do A, B, C, D, E.
Well,
and F.
yeah, and none of it's happened. Right.
Well, no, he did it, but it
No,
just
I'm
gets
talking about, like-
overturned, and they don't know that. All they know is he did it because they make a lot of noise when he does stuff, but they never come back and say, "Hey, it's just like it's just like the retraction or the apology in the newspaper. Your story was front page on their newspaper, but when they realize they got it wrong, your apology is buried on page 6.
Right, on tiny little letters, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you never hear about that stuff, but that's what's happening. That's why he was back on the air, because they couldn't keep him off.
Mm.
And now all the other comedy shows are just drilling into him.
Right.
Shows like the Daily Show.
I was about to say the Daily Show. The Daily Show actually never stopped.
Right.
They were like, you can go to hell. We gonna keep doing what we do.
Right.
Right.
Because we don't want these shows drilling into anyone.
Maybe.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Let's reserve the ability to do that.
That's what he
just in
said.
case.
Hey, you should be able to drill into whomever you so desire. So,
With permission.
with consent, yes.
So let me ask a question. Okay, Star Trek Academy's gone. Buffy's not coming up. So if Firefly goes in a different direction, are they going to cancel that? If they don't stick to the original format and they start drifting into I don't know, wokeness, they're gonna shut that down, or anything that comes out now. If it's too woke, they're just gonna shut it down no matter what it is.
But my thing is, what infuriates me is that they want to say it's woke, but it's literally just representation. We get to see shit. It's not just white people. Now we get to see people of color, people of different whatever it's called, the ethnicities or
Rainbow Coalition.
Thank you. Of different alphabet letters out there and doing their thing, and that's fine as long as you're secure within yourself. It shouldn't be an issue. But now, because straight white people are now worried that they are going the way of the dodo, now everything is scary. Ooh, we don't want our children to know. Shut the fuck up. So
the first thing was co-opting the term woke, because that's not what it is.
Yes.
That's not absolutely.
Oh my God.
Everybody doesn't know that.
Teach him.
Everybody doesn't know that. When woke first came out, it means you are aware of what's going on around you.
Yep.
That's all it meant.
Yep.
Stay woke. They used to say stay woke.
It actually vilified the term at this point.
Right.
Well,
now it's become a pejorative term.
They're just like, but see, people don't realize that's what they do, because that's just like the what's the class? I just had the phrase in my head. the educational thing that they stopped, they got rid of.
No Child Left Behind.
No, not No Child Left Behind. It was
'Cause
like
that
a
was some
course,
bullshit too.
right? Well, that was like the war on drugs, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about the it'll come to me because I can't remember it right
Didn't
now.
Malcolm X sit there and say it?
That's what she said.
They'll have you
It
hating
was a
what
college.
was
It
right.
was a college age. It was a college level course, but they claimed they were teaching it in high schools. Right? He outlawed it in Florida.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I definitely know what you're talking about, and
Right, yeah.
it's all coming to a head because those who are in power are in fear of losing power.
They're right.
And at the end of the day, fuck them. So let's do this before this becomes the Daily Show, or or as Vince Vaughn. Did you all hear Vince Vaughn? He was like, yeah, you know, these late night talk shows have become too political. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Vince Vaughn, shut the fuck up. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a commercial break and cleanse our palate. And when we come back, I have a versus battle explicitly for Auntie Nicole, and I wait with bated breath her opinions on this particular battle. So since Uncle DJ isn't here, and there was someone who actually requested this, after these messages, we'll be right back.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. As we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Welcome back. We are the Grumpy Old Nerds once again. I'm Uncle John. Those people over there, oh wow, they're over here now. These people over here now are my friends, and as long as they agree with me, we'll remain friends. There's Uncle Tony, Auntie Nicole, Uncle Rod, Uncle Percy, and super producer Uncle
Critical
Roy.
Race Theory.
Yep,
I looked it up.
Critical
Yep,
Race
it was
Theory.
Critical Race Theory.
Yes,
Like they did the same thing they did with woke. It was ridiculous. Critical Race Theory is literally a graduate level course that is mostly taught in law schools, but they claimed that it was being taught in high schools, which is why they banned all African American history now. It's just stupid.
Okay, so now that we're back, Auntie Nicole, you need to come front and center. I have a versus especially for you. Now, not too
He
long
didn't
ago.
let me brush up on anything, y'all. So
You'll
just
be
here to
okay.
troll at this point.
Don't worry about it. Not that long ago, we had a versus for who did we do that versus for? That was for
Comic book?
yeah, black comic book characters, right? Who was the more legendary? And this is not just for Nicole, by the way, this is for everybody. But I wanted to see where we stood with some of these horror film villains. And because Auntie Nicole is our horror film aficionado, I wanted to see where some of these characters stood. Now, I'm not sure if you know all of them. I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Let's
But
see.
Okay.
but let's kick it off. All right. Number one, from the Terrifier films, Art the Clown.
Mhm.
You're familiar?
Yes.
Versus Chucky. Who would you pick? Who man on man matchup? Who you got? Art the Clown versus Chucky.
Man on
damn.
toy.
Art the Clown would tear Chucky's ass up.
Damn. Really? So doesn't Chucky
is supernatural, so to speak?
Right.
He can be hurt. Okay. And remember, he goes through his little hiatus or whatever and found love and all that other kind of crap. Art just don't give a
rat's ass.
right.
Okay.
Art if you're really thinking about it, there is a talk that maybe Art, to some level, with the way of how evil he is, there's a level of supernaturalness to him. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I did not know that. Thank you very much.
Reminds me of a Violator from Spawn.
Yeah, he does
Mhm.
to an extent. And I always wondered how you let a doll who's all of 2 feet tall whoop your ass. So, but that's just me.
There you go.
All right. So Art the Clown versus Chucky. Art the Clown is the winner. Next up, Art the Clown versus Samara from The Ring.
Oh, Samara, because she is straight up supernatural, and there's just no telling. I mean, think about it. You put that video in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
he's a done deal. It's over. It's over. All you got to do is watch it. That's it.
Okay. Once he watches it, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Mhm.
Okay. So now, anybody else disagree with that? You all agree with that? You all good with that choice?
I'm not too familiar with Art the Clown, but I am familiar with the chick from The Ring.
Yeah.
That
That's some
scared the
scary
hell
shit.
out of me.
Yeah, right. That's some scary shit. I ain't fucking with her. Okay.
Me neither.
All right. So Samara from The Ring versus Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. Jigsaw is human, so no, still Samara.
So okay, Jigsaw is human, but how do they keep making all these movies? I thought wasn't he killed?
He
in one of
has
these?
proteges. Is what the
So it's a
situation is with him. So
Okay.
he has him. Then of course he has these people who, when they I forget the young lady's name, the one that what's his name dumped for his model girlfriend. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, you figure she had coming of whatever moment, she was able to beat one of the traps, so he ended up making her a protege, and that's kind of sort of what they did. He actually made several of them, and that's why you keep getting these alternate movies and timelines and different things like that.
Okay. All right. Well, as always, I appreciate your candor, because I don't know who these motherfuckers are. All right. So Samara defeats Jigsaw. So next up, Samara versus the Babadook.
The existential horror. Huh? Let's see.
You used a big old word for that one.
I don't know. I'm trying to think now, because the Babadook is a manifestation of just grief and woe and everything. We all have it to some degree. And it's supernatural as well.
Right. There you go.
But the only
shit.
I will say is that if you don't bring the bullshit home and don't try to keep all the nonsense out of your life, Babadook is not going to mess with you. So I'm going to give that to Samara.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on now.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's getting good.
Wait a minute now. Now you just said
she is a manifestation, but you have to, and I will say that's the only caveat. You have to be able to watch the film. Now, mind you, if you don't do it, if you don't watch the film or something like that, that is the only thing that will save you is with Samara, is if you keep yourself from seeing that.
Well, I don't think he's gonna sit and plop in front of a TV. I think he's just gonna try to kill her ass. That's all.
And that's the thing, but they're both supernatural. And the thing is, say it again. Go ahead.
I would think that because he's a supreme manifestation of grief, or ill will or bad feelings, then she would not be as powerful as him.
Right.
I mean, I could agree with that, but I guess I was thinking along the lines of if you're in a decent space, he has no hold to you. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Of your mind and so on. There's
So
no
you could be in a good space and watch that video and die.
right, and that's the whole point. With Samara, there's
Okay.
nothing you can do. Whatever, she's going to kill you if you watch that video.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. I mean,
7 days.
Percy, you satisfied with that?
No. Because you gotta make him watch. You gotta make him watch the video. I can't see this particular villain is gonna sit there unless you got like a mini Walkman or something. Hey, watch this real
Well,
quick.
I'm not saying that Samara could kill him. It wouldn't be. I'm thinking more along the lines of who would be the more, I guess, powerful in the sense of, or who could gain the higher head count of, victims, so to speak.
So the Babadook, if you're just happy, they ain't gonna fuck with you. And if you just keep the TV turned off, Samara can't get you.
Yeah.
So I guess it just kind of depends on which you're more privy to, being upset or watching TV.
And play happy music, do something.
Just go with Mama Duke. I mean, what's his name? Mama Duke.
This motherfucker. Good God. This motherfucker. Mama Duke.
Okay.
So I mean, are you changing or are you staying?
Let's go with Percy. Let's go with Percy.
The Babadook. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this next one is simple. Okay. Babadook versus Hannibal Lecter.
Next.
Right. We all agree with that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, no. It's yeah. I think that's kind of a simple rap because I mean, again, he's human, and think about it. For you to do evil, you had to have evil done to you, so you're already in a bad place.
Check that shit out right there. Yeah, Tony, think about that shit. Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with that though. To do evil, you had to have evil done to you.
A lot of times, right. A lot of times these people, and I'm just thinking of when I took my criminal justice and everything like that. The bulk of people out there that's doing a lot of crazy bullcrap, serial killers, everything, a lot of them have been abused, hurt people. What you say?
Hurt people.
Right. And things like that. So they are already messed up in the head. You follow what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm going with it anyway. So.
Okay. All right. I think we all agree with that. All right. This one, I expect a lengthy discussion about this one. Babadook versus, am I saying that right? Babadook.
Babadook.
Babadook versus Pennywise. Yeah, because if I'm hearing this correctly, both of them feed off negative emotions, right?
They do. They do.
Pennywise
is like a being of, he's like a quote unquote god of whatever his place is out there in the universe too. So
is he an alien or is he like a
no, he's not an alien. He's actually an old one, like a being.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what the kids at school call me, an old one.
Yes, Sensi. But I'm gonna go with this one. I'm going with Pennywise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just because Pennywise is a much cooler name than Babadook.
Well, I mean, there you go. He's kind of hot too. But anyway, not Pennywise, but his. Anyway, I digress.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I'm going with Pennywise on this one because you could be sad, you could be happy. Pennywise is coming for your ass, and there's no limit to what he does.
Right. So can Babadook like shape shift and do that kind of shit?
To a degree, not like Pennywise under any circumstances.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a little different.
Okay. All right. Well, this next one is easy. Pennywise versus Ghostface from the Scream film.
Pennywise.
Okay. All right. I mean, I had to throw him in there. I mean, I'm as I was making the list, I was like, okay, I kind of see the supernatural ones will kick the human one's ass.
Think about it. Pennywise uses the people who are evil to make evil even worse. So Ghostface out there wilding.
So we have the same reaction for Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
If we see him coming, we got a chance.
Yeah, right. Because Leatherface ain't gonna catch me. I can run fast. Well, not now because my knees are bad. Okay, so
Why are you running?
Pennywise.
Just turn around and beat his butt.
Oh, okay, tough guy.
With the chainsaw coming at you. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Leatherface. I'm talking about Ghostface.
Ghostface. Well, yeah, Ghostface is human, so
All right. Well, all right.
Human.
So this will be interesting. Pennywise versus Jason Voorhees.
I'm going to go, and only reason why I'm going here with Pennywise, because again, he is a being as opposed to Jason, who was human at some point. And even though he may be some sort of manifestation of whatever, entity or whatever, it's still not. That's like saying
they never really clarified that, did they?
Right. And that's the thing. I think of Pennywise, he's still kind of cosmic. He's a cosmic being. Jason hasn't attained that yet. Even though he went to outer space, he's still not a cosmic being.
Did any of you actually watch that trash?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
I did, and I saw when he went to Manhattan, which was not Manhattan, by the way.
Wait, which one did he go to first, Manhattan or space?
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've got Pennywise over Jason Voorhees. Now, this next one is a good one. Pennywise versus Freddy Krueger.
That is a good one. But
does Pennywise sleep?
Oh, here we go. let me get it.
But this is the only thing that's got me in a dilemma with this.
Pennywise doesn't sleep.
He does.
He hibernates, so to speak.
Right.
Okay.
But it's not per se a sleep. It's because he's filled himself to the point of hibernating for 21 years. So then he comes back to do his thing again. But Pennywise does have a weakness. And the weakness is you being able to insult him into feeling small. If you ever notice,
all the Losers Club did was yell harsh words at him, and he crumbled like a fucking. He folded like a fucking lawn chair.
Exactly. Now, I do remember seeing Freddy having a weak point too, because remember when he was when they went back into time, some thoughts or something when he was young and blah blah blah. Because remember his mother was a nun and she was attacked and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. So they both have weaknesses. The only thing is that I think because Pennywise can conjure up some of the most diabolical things in comparison to, and because he's a cosmic being, that is the only leg up he has over Freddy. Because once again, Freddy was human.
I disagree.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
Come on,
and the only reason why I'm saying is because the advantage Freddy has is he can get into your dream. And this man is hibernating for 21 years. I think Freddy has a chance over him. I think Freddy can fuck him up in his dreams. Now, once
Freddy can hurl insults.
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
Freddy's, his mouth is hilarious.
Right.
But one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that even though, you see Pennywise get small and everything like that and hibernate, Pennywise does not die. He will never die. What he does is relive time and time again to see how he can beat whatever happened before. You follow me? So he keeps repeating time is what he did. They actually went through that in the TV show. He repeats time. So what happens now? Okay, so you kill me here. So you know what? When I come back in the next 21 years, I'm going after your mother. You see what I'm saying? If she kills me,
I got you.
I'm going back after her grandfather or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see him all the way from Native American times all the way up until that time frame. That's why I give him the leg up.
Okay, but what happens if you just lash into him right before he wakes up each time? You only got to worry about the fight every 20 years.
But
So
the
you
thing
just
is
catch him
when
before
he
he wakes
wakes
up.
up, when he wakes up from that 20-something years, that is when he is the most ravenous. It is almost next to impossible to do anything. Like, I think that's the reason why it keeps happening. But see, the thing is, remember, that's the reason why the shards is the only thing that was able to contain Pennywise, because the shards were created by the being that created Pennywise, but it doesn't kill him. You follow what I'm saying? So it to me, it's just there's no end to Pennywise, is what it is.
Mm. And Pennywise also doesn't experience time the way we do in a linear fashion.
Absolutely.
But I get that. Okay, we're running out of time, so we're gonna bypass Michael Myers because
No,
said
Pennywise is gonna win. That's my boy. Mikey's my boy, but
all right. So last one. Pennywise versus Pinhead.
That's a good one, because Pinhead is nothing but grief
and pain.
Yes,
and scary looking as hell,
and he loves it. He absolutely loves it,
like a fat kid loves cake.
There you go. Honestly, well, I mean, if nobody F's with the lament configuration, they'll never come out.
Right.
I can say. But I mean, I'm gonna still give it to Pennywise, and the reason is because Pinhead would probably be like the nurse that was in the TV show. He'd want to join them. Okay, he would want to get down with him, so he can bring on as much grief to the world as possible. So I still give it to Pennywise.
Okay, all right. Well, looks like it's a clean sweep. Pinhead takes them all. Not Pinhead, Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Okay. Yeah, seeing as how I haven't seen half of the films that feature these characters, I have no horse in this race. So magnificent. All right. Well, now it's time for to say goodbye to all our company.
I thought you was going to have me rap something when you said verses.
No. No, Nicole, I know this is your wheelhouse, so I was, and you did not disappoint. Thank you so very much for that, Auntie Nicole. So Auntie Nicole, let's stay with you. You got anything for us on the way out the door?
No.
Okay. Uncle Tony, what you got for us?
Everybody go ahead and sign those petitions to get Star Trek Academy back on the air. We need that. We need new Star Trek. The problem is they're canceling this show, and it doesn't look like they have anything in the timeline to be come up afterwards. So I'm all for, let's keep track. If they're not going to give us track, let's cancel those Paramount Plus subscriptions.
Damn.
Oh, and by the way, shop at challengesgames.com.
There you go.
I
need to recoup some of that money from that free convention I did. So,
Lord, Uncle Percy, you got anything for us?
Yep. Happy belated birthday to Super Producer Mel. Happy birthday to my wife, which was yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday, my favorite April Fool.
And fuck Paramount and the shit they rolled on.
Okay. All
I was
right.
gonna get it out. I was just waiting. The medication just wore off.
There you go. Uncle Rod, anything for us?
WrestleMania coming up in about 2 weeks. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Got to check it out. Also, shop at Challenges Games. I tried to buy some stuff online with Tony, and so far it looks like it's successful. So it says it's coming. So
your books are in the mail. And
Nice.
Gemini mailers for their protection.
Nice.
And then Rod, you said MomoCon is next month?
MomoCon is March. No, I'm sorry. It's May 21st to the 23rd, I believe.
Okay.
At the convention, the Georgia Convention Center.
Okay. Oh, also, I cannot forget. I ran into a guy at the bus stop who watches the show, and he said to tell everybody hello. Howard Lee, I forget his last name. But, sir, if you're watching us right now, thank you for stopping me and saying hi. And if you see any of us out in the wild, please don't be afraid. We don't bite unless you ask us to. Stop, say hi, take a picture, whatever. We're good. We all 4 or 5 of you who watch this show, we appreciate you, and we want to say hi to you and thank you personally in your face. Super producer Roy, anything on the network going on?
Soft relaunch coming next Monday. Getting
Soft
ready to get
relaunch.
Yeah, it's just a general John stop.
Soft relaunch.
Who wants a soft relaunch?
We will be getting ready for different things, and one of those things will be the shooting of the Nerd Out game show.
Uh-oh.
So we're looking forward to that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. Tony, we might have to do 1 or 2 episodes down at Challenges just on GP, homie. So I'll get with you. I'll get with you on that. So,
all right. Well, for Auntie Nicole, Uncle Percy, Uncle Rod, Uncle Tony, Super Producer Roy, Uncle DJ, always in our thoughts. Hope everything's good with you. Cousin Ameyu, hope you're feeling better. I am Uncle John. We're the Grumpy Old Nerds. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us and all of our tomfoolery. We're here every Thursday, kinda 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out with us. We'll see you next week. Night night.
Thank you.